Welcome everybody to Super News Live. I'm Dave.
And I am Marco.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful and safe Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
How was your weekend, man?
It's pretty good, nice and long. Did a lot of hiking, did a lot of barbecuing and grilling. I think that's the right way to spend a long weekend.
Yeah.
And plus, at grocery stores, they're just trying to maximize, and all the meats were on sale.
All of the meats. I saw that too, man. I was like, what should I grill up? And I was like, I'm grilling some steaks.
Yeah.
I don't know if a $5 steak is good, but I tried it, and you know, a little chewy.
Yeah.
But today is a very special Super News Live, Marco. Obviously, a lot of you guys are totally nerding out over the drawing showdown that I've been doing.
Yes.
A lot of you are familiar with Amanda. She's our winner from 2 weeks ago. So we decided to bring her back and utilize her skills on today's show, which is a little fun segment we call Amanda Draws.
Oh, yes.
And today, in honor of Jurassic World 2, coming to theaters very, very soon, we thought, why don't you draw a dinosaur?
Yeah, never a bad time for dinosaurs.
Never, never. You can never have too many dinosaurs, or so the franchise thinks.
Yes, we'll find out.
Yeah, so what Amanda's gonna be doing is she's gonna be spending the first half of the show drawing and etching out the dinosaur of her choice. I believe she's going with the T-Rex.
Ooh, classic.
The king of the dinos, as some say.
Yeah.
No one probably says,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just said.
I was gonna say, sounds like a real statement.
Yeah, I feel like that's been said
Yeah.
before. And then we're coming back to halftime, where we want to know the question of the day, which is, Solo did poorly in the box office, and we want to know, are people experiencing franchise fatigue?
Ooh.
I want to know what you think about it based on Star Wars, and I want to know what you think about it looking ahead to Jurassic World 2.
Exactly.
Is it going to do poorly in the box office? Are we seeing a bunch of these franchises that are trying to reboot and toss out a bunch of new content and films every year, and maybe we're all just like, we're good with the originals?
We'll see if Solo, I guess, sort of shows a trend as to what could possibly becoming in the future.
Yep.
I think what's really interesting is that Marvel still has its stride going.
Oh yeah.
But Star Wars seems to have just hit a little bump in the road. So we shall see if it will affect Jurassic World 2.
So we'll open that up during halftime. But for now, let's get right to it. Amanda, on your mark, get set, dino! See what I did there?
Yeah.
See,
God damn it, it's always bad.
Welcome to halftime, everybody. It's Dave again.
And of course, Marco.
So we interrupt this drawing broadcast, I guess, to talk a little bit about what's going on in the news, top headlines.
Yes.
And right now it is super focused on how Solo, a Star Wars story, is doing via the box office.
Exactly.
Or rather, what it is not doing via the box office, which opens up our halftime question. Comment below. I'll be reading your comments. I want to know why you think Solo is doing poorly. And do you have franchise fatigue? Do we feel like the reason it's doing poorly is because we're just Star Wars'd out right now, or we're still recouping from The Last Jedi, or what is it? Something is not going well.
Totally. There's a lot of different factors that kind of go on with why it's not doing as well as it was projected.
Yes.
A lot of people were projecting it to be around $150 million just here in the States.
Yeah.
And it only made 103.
103 million. Now, just to put it in context, okay? Rogue One did 155, which they didn't think Rogue One was going to do that great, so it did 155. Solo only did 103. Now I know, to you and me, we're thinking 103 million. That sounds like a lot of money. It sounds like it did pretty well, Dave. Well, hold on. This is how much it costs to make Solo, a Star Wars story. Any guesses?
180?
Not even close. $250 million is what it costs to make this film.
Oh my gosh.
So to say that they have a steep uphill battle to even break even is an understatement.
That's really scary, actually.
Yeah, Disney may be in over their head.
What I find very interesting about it, and we're now sort of talking about fatigue, is that this film critically is actually pretty good. It has 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is by far an actual good score.
Yeah.
So then it begs the question, are people just not interested in it? It's not like this was a horrible film and that people don't want to spend money on bad films. This is actually a critically acclaimed film. And they're still not going out in droves to see this, even though Star Wars is that huge fandom that's been going on since the 70s. So maybe fatigue is a thing. All
right, let's read some of these comments. Kimberly is saying, hello. Hello, Kimberly. Tim is saying, yes, I went to see Jurassic Park 2. Oh, sorry, this is unrelated. Jasmine is saying, I'm not sure anyone wants to see backstories. And that brings up a really good point, is Rogue One was kind of like a sidestep, if you will. That's true. And it told a story that not a lot of us knew what had happened.
Exactly.
Backstories, on the other hand, I'm not personally a fan of. I agree with you, Jasmine. Mark Anthony is saying Solo was just not marketed right.
Ooh.
I'd be curious to see your thoughts of how it should have been marketed. I felt like they really did go overboard with the marketing, typical Star Wars. They were at Denny's. They were doing all kinds of stuff for it. Sky is saying, David Marco, absolutely the greatest and most intelligent host of Super News Live. Sky, the check is in the mail. Thank you so much for saying that. Jasmine saying Marvel movies are more in than Star Wars movies. That's a good thing. Is maybe we're just the franchise that has really overtaken everything, which sounds crazy to say that Star Wars isn't just like a home run hitter every time. But
exactly. It's a little bit.
It's also coming out at a time when if you were going to the movies right now, and let's say you hadn't seen stuff, you'd actually have to choose Solo over Deadpool 2.
Exactly.
You'd have to choose it over Infinity War. And then soon you're going to have to choose it over Jurassic World for it to hit this 250 million mark. I mean, this is crazy.
It's a pretty scary time. I feel that they probably put it there.
A fantastic time. It's almost like an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah. I think they probably came in very confident, thinking that they're going to ride the whole summer Memorial Day weekend train. And sadly, it hasn't really taken off for them. And I'm guessing by this opening, it's going to be, what you said earlier, a very steep climb to reach what they have in terms of the cost of the film. So we'll see what happens with Solo. And I think you mentioned it a little bit earlier. Is this time to think of a new strategy for Star Wars.
Yeah, I think the one film a year thing is too much. And I actually made a video about this not too long ago where I was having some hot takes saying that Jon Favreau attached to it could actually be a bad thing, because I think you can have too much of a good thing. Now, that being said, I said that leading up to Infinity War.
Yeah.
I did say that they were overdoing themselves, and egg on my face, I was wrong. But I think with Star Wars, which didn't, see, Marvel did it right where they started with Iron Man and they didn't stop. There was no breaks, there was no giant breaks. We have the original Star Wars, then years and years and years later there were the prequels, and years and years and years later they're doing Force Awakens. There's been a lot of breaks and different producers, directors, and we're seeing it with this one. Ron Howard directed it, but it was Lord and Miller who originally were directing it, and then they got fired, so already a bad start. And how did you miss this? They're releasing a Star Wars every Christmas.
Yeah.
And then they release it in May, but not on May the 4th be with you. It was released on
a
like
lot
the
to miss
26th.
there, yeah.
I think they botched it, and hopefully this won't deter them from making that sweet Boba Fett standalone film with the director of Logan, because I think that is a backstory we could get into, because we don't know a lot about him. I want to see a really dark, spooky Star Wars. Like, let's get deep and dark.
I think, or at least I hope that Solo doesn't make the Star Wars franchise pump the brakes a little bit. I think they might need to slow down, maybe take their foot off the gas, but definitely not hit the brakes. I think a Boba Fett film, even though it's another sort of backstory, which a lot of people mentioned earlier that they may not be into, I think that this one almost provides a new thing for us. It's not like we're like, oh, Han Solo, we already saw enough of him. I feel like I barely saw Boba Fett. He saw like it basically didn't really exist in the universe.
We don't know a lot about him. We don't know a lot about him, certainly. Moving on to Jurassic World 2. I'm gonna preface this. Do you feel, based on everything that's happened with Solo, that Jurassic World 2 is also gonna suffer a big old dip in the box office? Or do you feel like Jurassic Park is a franchise that won't be affected?
I'm actually curious, for those of you at home, are you going to watch Jurassic World 2? And what are your thoughts on if we're gonna receive fatigue on dinosaurs?
You know what? I have something that may convince you. We've made a tasty little video that lets you know that the true hero of all the Jurassic Park films is actually what Amanda has been drawing. It's the T-Rex. I would argue that more than Pratt, more than Sam Neill, even dare I say more than Goldblum,
I had a feeling you were
gonna throw his name in there. The true hero of all these films is indeed the T-Rex, because he has saved the day. He or she, I don't really know what. We'll say it has saved the day more times than any of those other characters. Don't believe me? Check out this video. Here's every time the T-Rex has saved the day in Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Mommy's very angry. InGen is my responsibility now, Doctor, and I will jealously defend its interests.
Your responsibility? What about Mr. Hammond?
You have no rights.
An extinct animal that's brought back to life has no rights. It exists because we made it. We patented it. We own it.
A true hero. Yes.
Giving it a little golf clap.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We can golf clap that.
Yeah.
Bravo. Bravo to our very own Peter, who cut a heck of a video, and to a T-Rex. And my mistake, all the dinos are female. Yeah. Future is female, especially if you're dinosaurs.
Yes.
And saving the day in Jurassic World. Hopefully everyone will go check out Jurassic World 2.
Yeah.
Be curious to see what you guys' thoughts are on that film.
Exactly.
And we'll see. Time will tell if Solo can make up that money. Maybe all of a sudden it'll just catch on in Russia or somewhere.
Yes, we'll find out.
And then if Jurassic World 2 indeed does the same. But now, it is time for Amanda to add color to her amazing drawing of a T-Rex. So make sure to continue to comment along and encourage Amanda for the second part of Amanda Draws a T-Rex. Amanda, take it away. Oh, are you guys still watching? Oh, that's awkward. Oh, well, you should probably then tune in each and every day at noon to Super News Live. So that's tomorrow, because we're done here. So you can leave, but come back tomorrow. But leave, but come back tomorrow. I'm gonna leave. Who am I kidding? I don't have anywhere to go.